We have started. So today we're going to follow up on what we started last week, which was the forcing one no trump bid. And last week it was kind of fun. I hope it was good for you guys. What we did was as we went through these hands, we did them over and over again and kind of took one bit at the time. So today what we're going to do is we're actually going to try to get through them all. And we're going to do, whoops, that's not right. We're going to try to do them all, use save deals. And but we're gonna bid them right through to the end. So we'll actually see what's going on. So we'll start them from the second one. I put thick skin in north. I'm not sure that it matters. You guys need to see one hand though. Let's see, teaching options. And I'll just put you watching me instead. So we're going to look at south for now. I start the bidding with one spade. And thick skin. Bids one no trump. My bid. Remember that the thing about the forcing one no trump is right. It makes us bid again because our partner can't bid at the 2 level in a lower ranking suit without forcing the game. So one no trump bid is a catch-all bid, especially over one spade, right? So what is my rebid here? There's nothing complicated about it, right? This is very natural bidding. He's forcing me to bid again. Well, I'll say the next thing I've got to say about my hand, which is 2 hearts. And my client bids, sorry, I've been in the office all day. I'm calling him my client. My partner bids 3 spades. He bids 3 spades. So what kind of hand do I expect from Fred on this one? I like that answer. Alan's answer is real nice. Yeah, and there's another good one. He's got an invitational hand. If you all know me at this point, I shy away from points a lot because I think if we focus too much on points and adding this point for that and this point, then I think we lose track of actually thinking about how our hand might play. He's got an invitational hand. He couldn't force the game, and he has 3 spades. All right, so it's basically you would do something similar to this in standard. You might open a heart and your partner bid a spade and then they'd bid 3 hearts, right? And you know, oh, that's an invitational hand. And so the only question is do I go to 4 spades when I'm 5-4, 3-1, and I have a stiff ace? What's a stiff ace worth? I mean, I think they're worth their weight in gold for sure, right? So we're definitely going to go to 4 spades here. Over an invitation. I forgot to count my points. Oh my goodness. I don't count points very much. I got a stiff ace and I got an invite. It's time to go. All right. So, partner passes. Get the 10 of clubs. My partner came through with the queen and jack. So, got 2 spade losers. I got 2 winners in clubs in the dummy where I'm going to pitch my diamonds. And if I get a chance to do that, and I got the queen of hearts, might even do it right away, right? Win the ace of clubs, lead to the queen of hearts, and lead the 2 clubs and throw away 2 diamonds. All right? A stiff ace, worth its weight in gold and more. Everybody see how that one bids? I'm going to claim them. Just if you guys have the wherewithal to save them, feel free. Unlike the old system, you have to, if you're going to save these hands, you have to do them as you go one by one. Used to be you could just save them all in one fell swoop, but no more. So 7, 14, 16 points. I'm off shaped basically an unbalanced hand with a 5-4-3-1 shape. Right? I'm going to start with one spade. This would be a hand legal to open at the ACBL these days, is because I have a stiff queen, but and I get a forcing one no trump. Oh, and Robot decides to bid. Wonderful. What would you do now? With 16 points, a forcing one no trump. That one no trump can represent anywhere between 5 points and 12 points. Okay, from a very minimal hand to a hand that is not quite enough to force the game. Over 2 hearts, do you think we should bid 3 clubs? Let's try it, see what happens. I think it's a close call. So I switched all over to North's hand now. Hope that wasn't too hard on the equilibrium. Sitting there looking at Fred's hand, what do you say now when your partner has shown extra strength by bidding clubs? Are we bidding 3 spades? Are we bidding 4 spades? Are we bidding 5 clubs? Sitting North's hand, what would you bid? Nick's just going to go for it. He's got the ace. He's got a 5-card suit. The ace, king, 10, 9, 7. Spuds is going to stay with the invite. I think the 3 of clubs might already be invitational. 4 spades. Go straight to it. I think those are all reasonable cards. I think 3 spades is reasonable. I would worry about 3 spades if I were Fred, though, because 3 spades might look like I'm just taking a preference back to your spade suit because clubs are awful. And that worries me in this. You know you have an 8-card fit. You have a doubleton in their suit. Also wastes one of your points. But you have that ace, king, 10, 9, 7. Right? Best world, you're giving pitches away. In another world, you might be setting up diamonds. Although it looks like your partner should be short in diamonds. Let's go with 4 spades. So, looks pretty good. Got a couple heart losers. Gonna have to get rid of one of them, but that's not a problem. We did end up with ace, king, queen of clubs. Ace, king, queen of diamonds. If we can get, I have to see what happens with these hearts. Oh, shoot, you can't see them both? That sucks. Here, apparently I can't switch hands in the middle. There we go. That should get you all the hands. That's the best I can do here. So, making. Good bid. I think I've got this figured out now. We're going to be able to. So I'm going to be able to switch you back and forth between the hands, which I think will be less than confusing than seeing all 4 hands. So 14 points, right? And I've got a 5-4-3-1 again. Got a stiff ace. It's a pretty strong hand. And we get 1 no trump. Forcing 1 no trump. Must bid. What is our bid here? Nick's in for 2 clubs. Yeah, well, I think 2 clubs is pretty obvious, right? We're just bidding naturally. We can't jump to 3 clubs with this hand. We're not strong enough to force the game. So 2 clubs is the bid. And we've seen this one before. Game? More than game? Invitational hand across from us. with 3 spades. Are you going slam hunting with this hand? All right, I agree. And pass with the left hand. Got the right hand and the left hand working here again today. And we get a diamond lead. That is certainly nice. You can see all the hands this time, right? I mean, you can see both hands. Okay, good. Yeah. I think that as long as I have you viewing the declarer, you can see both hands. But if I put you viewing the dummy, you can only see one hand. Well, you have. I mean, this is a thing about when you count points, you tend to not see slams. You tend not to see special bids when you're just counting points because we have 14 points. So, but that stiff ace is huge, and when it comes down to having a stiff ace with the with all that shortness, things can happen. I mean, your partner has points somewhere. But you still have hearts to deal with, and I'm not sure that this is a good slam try in anybody's book. And in fact, it only makes 4. Let's try another. So I was joking. In one of my lessons the other day, I was trying to promote some sort of flow in the auction, and my thought was that that when you first get your cards up, you should need to become acquainted with them so you know what you're going to do next. We're using a pretty natural bidding system. And I really think that, and this sounds silly, and I acknowledge that, but I think that it makes sense to give your hand a name. You should name it by its range in points, and if you're not thinking points, your range in values. Is it a minimum hand? Is it an invitational hand? Is it a maximum hand? Is it a bone-crushing hand? Right? And by its shape. So here, for instance, I could say I have a 2-suited hand, right? Because I have spades and hearts. And I have 7, 6, 13, 14, 15. And queen is kind of iffy. So, I could say this is a minimum hand, a good minimum hand, a good minimum 2-suited hand, which means that after I bid, right, I don't have to sit there and look at my hand and figure out everything else again, right? Because I know I'm 2-suited, I'm fairly minimum, good minimum hand, but I'm minimum, and I know what the next bid is. I know what the next bid is before we get. And if the responder's doing the same thing, then then Fred should already know what he's going to bid here, right? This was an interesting one. So. Fred bids another suit. He bids it at the 3 level. So what kind of values do you expect Fred to have here? Bidding a new suit at the 3 level, not taking a preference to either spades or hearts. Not game forcing, because he could have game forced before. If he had a game forcing hand in clubs, he would have bid 2 clubs after the spade. Minimum was 6 clubs. Don't go to the 3 level. I know some people will do that. I mean, if you've got a really great hand, but almost everybody I know will read you as having more values than minimum. Right? You're hoping, the bid usually happens that here is when you're weak with 6 clubs, you're hoping that when you bid 1 no trump, your partner bids 2 clubs so you can pass him there. If you're minimum and your partner is showing you 2 majors, you got no choice but to take a preference. Either pass in hearts or bid them in spades. And if you're weak enough, it won't matter anyways because the opponents are going to start bidding. So 3 clubs is actually a bid that is showing some values. It's showing some values. It's not necessarily, a strong invitational hand. It is non-forcing. This bid is non-forcing. Right? Essentially, one way of looking at it is until you get into artificial bids, anytime a hand is limited, the hand across to you is limited, then it's difficult for you to make a forcing bid, right? Um, without doing something crazy. Let's not go there right now because that gets a little complicated. Three clubs here is not forcing, but it is showing values, right? Importantly, it's also denying a spade suit, three spades, right? It's denying four hearts. And if I'm sitting in South seat, I'm expecting to see a darn good club suit here. I'm expecting to see a good club suit. And of course, I'm not interested in clubs. What I'm trying to decide is, do we have enough to play three no trump? What would you bid? I mean, certainly point-wise, what do we got? 7, 6, 13, 14, 15 points. Our partner must have diamonds. Well, Nick, think of it this way. If your partner doesn't have three spades and doesn't have four hearts, and he's showing a club suit, do you think he has diamonds? I think he probably does. But I think Kathy's onto something here. If I could bid three no trump on my own, I would just bid it here, right? So what does it mean when I bid three diamonds? I'm like saying, yeah, we got the points here, but there's some issues, right? And we don't need to worry about right-siding the contract because Fred already wrong-sided the contract with the forcing one no trump. Sort of like help with diamonds, but basically when you're bidding, when it looks like you're bidding minor suits, we're always looking for a way to stall, right? But here, three diamonds is basically saying I can't bid three no trump on my own. I just can't do it, right? And having shown 5-4 in the majors, you know, if I'm Fred, I'm thinking my partner is probably 5-4, three clubs and one diamond. Or, you know. So, three no trump. We pass it out. Get a heart lead. Now, let's see. I'm going to switch you guys over to North's hand, I think, so that you can see it all. Here, why don't I just do this? I'll just put you on all the hands. And I think that means you can see them all right now, right? So diamonds are stopped. Nicely stopped. That 10 might even play. We got two heart tricks. Gonna get 4 club tricks. That's 6. Might be able to pick up 2 spades for 8. So it seems like it's got to play for 3 no trump. Double dummy says we're going to get an over trick. Can you guys see the double dummy when I put it up here? Oh, okay. You can do it yourselves. If you want to check a hand to see if it makes double dummy, go up to the blue square in the upper left-hand corner with 3 lines. Click on the blue square and then click on Show Double Dummy. And it will let you know whether a hand is supposed to make. And that's double dummy, which means that you got to guess all the finesses and everything else. And then you get weird breaks that work out in your favor or don't. But there, this is a good bit. Worked out. Put you back on the south hand here. One spade. We got 6, 3, 3, 1 with the queen, stiff queen, and hearts. All right, so and it's a minimum hand, and our partner bids 1 no trump, and we get a Michael's bid. Interesting. All right, so our East opponent is showing 5 hearts and 5 of a minor. We don't know what minor that is yet. Do we have a bid here? Do we want a bid? We got 9, 10, 11, 3, 14 points. And our partner may have 5 points. Bid? I think double would show extra values as well. It's an idea, though. He's going to go, yeah, I mean, I think 3 spades has some is fairly reasonable with the extra spade. I mean, it's promising extra spade. Unfortunately, we don't know whether our partner even has any spades. Although now that East has shown 5-5 and two other suits, it seems like there should be enough spades to go around. But what if the spades are 4-1 and they're sitting in West, and it's true, we do. That's 6 tricks. So we'd be looking for our partner to come up with 3. At imps, is there any reason to battle this out? Nothing like getting negative 200 at imps. What if we just pass? Two no trumps is saying, show me your second suit. Our partner passes, not very interested in proceeding now, and we find out the second suit is clubs. All right, well. Kind of get into some bridge judgment here. I know a lot of people, and I think it's a BBO thing, and especially a Bill thing. We'll just continue bidding spades here. If we're playing match points, sometimes it makes sense, to go down one if you think. But if they can only make 3 clubs, that's 110, right? And if we go down, that's negative 100. So basically, it's a wash at imps, right? And if you're always playing imps in the Bill and on BBO, you got to think about that. This is a wash. All you're doing is creating a chance you go down 2 and give them 4 or 5 imps. But maybe you can make. If you make, you're plus 140 with it, and that's a big swing. That's a 250 imp swing. Point swing, rather. You got a singleton in their major. I'm going to pass. I think this was up for grabs. I don't know what's right. Remember that we had a teacher in the Bill for years. His name was Dave Hardy. He used to have something he called the Hardy Party. And I think it was a Monday or Tuesday night. And the Hardy Party, it was so wonderful. It was so refreshing because he would teach and he'd never have an answer for you. He'd tell you something if something was really wrong. But otherwise, he recognized that bridge judgment is an individualized thing, and you can come up with arguments for everything. So we get 3 spades. I think we might make this. And we do. Eddie's right. Our tricks all come through in spades. So we get 6 there. And look at that. Our partner came up with the ace of diamonds and a heart. So when the king first, play that queen of hearts, set up a heart trick, and pitch a club maybe. You never know. So it plays out real nice. All right, next one. I think I'm going to throw you up in Norse hand for a while. Be the one no trump bidder for a while. So everybody's just seeing Norse hand at this point? I hope. All right, so we have 7 points. We're a 1-3-5-4 hand, right? So an unbalanced hand with the minors. We can't bid 2 clubs or 2 diamonds because we don't have enough points. But we have to bid, right? Because we have 7. So it's the catch-all bid. Right? 1 no trump forcing. All right. Where do we go now? Our shortness is in our partner's first suit, which means it's not as useful as it could be. Yeah, I think pass is reasonable. I mean, if you've named in this hand, you've called yourself a minimum responder, with 7 points in the minor suits, and you just got lucky. Your partner hit your suit, so I'd pass as well. Certainly don't want to bid again because all you'd be doing is inviting with 7 points, and I don't know that your distribution is that good. Got a nice 9-card diamond suit. Exactly. If partner had raised the diamond there, then I think we're off to the races. Of course, we're off to the races still looking to see if we can cover 3 no trump. But we know at least they'd have 10 plus points. They have an invitational hand, if we prefer to see it that way. Yeah, let me see how I can do that. Teaching options, show all hands. There we go. So, looking pretty good. Ace of clubs is in the right place. So we should be able to score 2 clubs, a couple spades, maybe rough a spade or 2. Diamonds are going to run. Going to make a lot of tricks. Yeah. 4 diamonds, not quite 5. And I don't think we would have liked to have been in no trump. If they pick off our queen of hearts, they got 5 heart tricks and the ace of clubs. So probably a good contract for us. I have not been claiming if people read, I try to do that, but all right, next one. I meant to claim them all so you could review, but the movie will be out tonight, and you can review them that way. Do you all know how to speed up YouTube? You can watch those videos at a faster speed or a slower speed. Check that out. I forget how to do it automatically, but you can Google that. I can't remember right now, but you can watch them faster, which I find really helpful watching bridge ones. Okay, so 1 spade from your partner. 7, 8, 9, 10 points with 5 hearts. Yeah. So 10 points. Can't bid the 2 levels, so we're using our catch-all bid of 1 no trump, right? Forcing. We got to bid. We got 10 points. In fact, if our partner hadn't opened spades, we'd really kind of like our hand, but it's not there. Should only see. Oh shoot! I wanted you seeing north. Okay, there. I want you to see north right now. Nick here, I think 2 clubs is more reasonable. 3 clubs would be a game forcing jump shift. And we got a nice hand. I'm just not sure that it's good enough. Maybe if you had the 5th club, or maybe the 10 of clubs, ace, king, jack, 10, 5th. Maybe if it was queen, 7, 3rd, and a stiff or something. But I don't think that's good enough to force the game over what could be a very minimum hand. All right, so what is Bob going to do here? Fred. 7, 8, 10 points, so an invitational hand. Think naturally. Don't overthink it. Natural system bidding. If we're 5-5 in suits, do we bid the lower or do we bid the higher first? I know our eyes are attracted to all those face cards in the diamond suit, but we have 5 hearts. Yeah, I think I bid 2 hearts. Right. But let me ask you this first. This is sort of weird. Does 2 hearts feel weak to you? Does it feel like you're saying pass this? This is an awkward hand. And your diamond suit just seems so darn good. And 2 no trump. Is that kind of a crazy bid? I think 2 hearts is too weak. My partner could just pass me there. And maybe if he does pass me there, that's a good thing, right? But we would be probably playing a 5-7, a 5-2 fit with no face cards. Yeah, all the suits are covered. Yeah. 2 no trump at least would be invitational, but is it too strong? There's a reason why in duplicate bridge you get different scores at different tables, right? I think 2 no trump seems okay. 2 diamonds is to play, 2 hearts is to play. Those are showing. I think those are too weak. Ged's right. Do we want to squint our eyes, pretend we have 6 diamonds, and bid 3 diamonds? Maybe that makes sense. Okay, I've seen 2 votes for 2 no trump. We'll just play 2 no trump. See what we'll bid 2 no trump. So sending out the message that we have an invitational hand and we've got the red suits covered. I guess that's how we're going to write it off. And our partner bids 3 no trump. More than happy to play along because he's got 16 points. Let's see. Got the north hand. Yeah, don't even talk to me about playing points, okay, Eddie? Just don't even bring it in this room. Don't do that here. It's too much math for this old man. We look to see how our hands actually play rather than coming up with point systems. And I've learned them all. Okay? It's just too much work, and experts don't use them. Only people on BBO use them. All right. Queen of clubs, nice card. Got the club fit. Looks like we'll be okay. The hearts were going to be fine. Our 5-card heart suit with no faces saves the day in that suit. Making 6, according to Double Dummy. So clearly we needed to do more than just bid at the 2 level there, because as Ed points out, and some others said too, the 2 level bids, when you do that, are generally bids that are showing a weak hand that is just trying to get out. Just trying to get out of this auction. That was an awkward hand, though. Okay, here we have the weak one, though, right? So we have 7 points this time. We have to bid. No place to go but 1 no trump. Partner bids 2 clubs. And now we're trying to get out, right? We got a weak hand. We just want to get out. And we bid 2 hearts, right? Everybody on with 2 hearts, they see this is sort of the flip side of that last one. That last hand where we were too strong to bid 2 hearts. Here we're not. And this bid is saying, just get me out of here. It's a non-forcing hand, willing to play. Oh, you know what? That's even better bid. I like that. I'm sorry, Nick. I skipped right over that because I saw the 5 hearts again. We can do that as well, and this might make more sense. We worked on this last week. Thank you. Leslie piles on 2. 2 spades, right? Just taking a preference. Playing 5-2 fits at the 2 level are kind of in a major, are sort of what replaces the 1 no trump bid from standard. Instead of playing 1 no trump, we end up playing 5-2s. Or we end up playing 5-3s with really weak points. But this is a perfect place to be. Had we had 1 spade there, we would have been happy to play 2 hearts. Teaching options, show south. There it is. All right. Pretty good shape. Club suit is going to help out a lot. Still a long way there, though. Spades are split 4-2 with a king offside, of course. So they're going to get the king, and they're going to get another spade. They're going to get a couple spades. They're going to get a couple hearts. They get the ace of clubs. Yeah, it's a rough hand. 7, 8, 10, 11 points in North's hand. 11 points in North hand. So we got an invitational balanced hand. If they'd opened one diamond, we'd be bidding 2 no trump. Right? But here, we bid 1 no trump forcing for 1 round. We get a second spade, right, which is 6, right, promising 6 here. So now we have a spade fit, and what are we going to do? Go straight to game? Or do we think maybe our minor suits are pretty darn soft? Come up with a mathematical formula for those 2 suits, but I guarantee it will be soft. We don't need a formula or math or a calculator to come up with that. Queen, Jack, 4th, and 9, 6, and then 4th and 9. That's 8 cards that do not promise a single winner for us. Right? So we're not going to go to game, but I think we do owe a invitation on this hand. Partner could have 16, 17, 18, probably right 16, 17 points. Maybe with 18 he's jumping to 3 spades. Maybe with a good 17 he's jumping to 3 spades. Right? But we got to figure that across from a 14, 15, 16 point hand, we're making game. So you got to give an invite. And I thought I was really getting the hang of switching hands here. There we go. So now you can see both hands. Right? We had not the best spades, but we are avoiding clubs. So partner was really happy to get an invitation. Just think naturally as you're bidding this. Don't overthink it. As I said from the beginning, the thing about 2 over 1 is it's easier than standard, and it's natural. Almost all of your bidding is natural. Even though forcing 1 no trump has sort of an element of, well, what else could I do? So this must be the natural bid. Put you back in North's hand. Two, 3, 4, 5 points. Chicken. Well, I would say that you got a point. I'm going to bid here. I would not bid 2 spades though. The forcing 1 no trump gives us a bonus bid, gives us a bonus raise. If we force here, right, then we get this. Then we can give our partner 2 spades, right? If we give our partner 2 spades from the start, he might expect to see 8 or 9 points from you, right? And he might want to, and then go crazy, right? But on this bid, he won't, right? He's not, if he has even 16, 17, 18 points in his hand, he's going to be thinking twice about going any further than 2 spades, especially if they're spread out and not worth much, right? So you get the weak raise, and you make your partner really happy on this bid. It does, but if you try to think of it this way, Nick, that 1 no trump then 3 spades is invitational, right? And that might help thinking that, well, if three spades is invitational, then 2 spades must be less than invitational, and 2 spades is actually constructive. So you get basically 3 raises there, right? You get and if you count 4, let's say you have 3 spades, right? You have a game forcing bid if you have 3. Right? You have a invitational hand with 3 by using 1 no trump and jumping to 3. You have a constructive raise with 3 by simply bidding 2 spades. Make that a good 8, 9, bad 10 points. And you have a weak raise by using 1 no trump and 2 spades. So you're dividing this up. If you then throw Bergen raises in on top of it, so you have a raise to cover every type of 4-card support hand, you literally can come up with a way to show your raises with 10 to 12 bids. It's just fabulous system. Right? All right, so anyways, One spade, two spades, three. Yeah. One spade, one no trump, two hearts, two spades. Could be two spades. That's true, Gene. So here, like I said, you make your partner really happy when it turns out that you have three to go along with your crappy jacks and queens. All right, so we got basically 20 minutes left. And I'm thinking about trying something here. How many kibbers do we have? We have lots of kibbers. Okay, so go down, figure someplace halfway through the list, all right? And then if you're above that halfway point, I want you to play North's hand. I want you to switch your controls so that you just see North's hand. If you're below that list, okay, like if you're on Alan's side of the list, then I want you to be in South's hand. If you're on Wyoming's side of the list, I want you to be on South side, okay? So higher you are, I probably did that wrong. So if you're on the bottom of the list, go to South. If you're on the top of the list, go to North. And you do that by going to the blue box in the corner, right? And then you're gonna have an option of which hand to kib. I hope that's true. It used to be. Thick Skin is going to step out for a second and see if that's true. Never mind. It's not true anymore. Never mind. Skip that. What a shame. It doesn't work. It doesn't matter. You can't set your own things. Okay. Well, we'll continue doing it the way we have been. I'll look at that. Maybe we'll do that later on as we do some other bidding. All right. So we'll keep pressing along here. Right now, I'll put you in North's hand again. One spade. 7-point hand. What are we bidding? Yeah, Nick, I don't think you can do it on the new version, but I'll double check another time. That's too bad. That would have been fun. That's an old chick thing, right? Yeah, one no trump forcing. Gotta bid something. I don't want to spend any more time on it, but thanks, Susie. I'll try that one and see if it works. And then we can do that another day because we got a lot more bidding to do over the next 5-6 weeks. Partner comes back with two hearts. Kind of wish he had said two clubs or two diamonds, right? But he didn't. He said two hearts. What's your bid? Yeah, absolutely, right? This is taking a preference. We're not going to take a preference to spades here. We're going to take a preference to hearts. And since we're weak, no sense bidding. We're really sad about our 6-card club suit, but it wasn't all that good anyway. You're missing the King Jack 10. And when I play that hand, they're always offside. So I'm going to just keep moving. That passes the right hand, right bid here. Two, three, four, five, six. Got the catch-all, forcing one no trump. And what do we do here? Let's see. Our partner comes back with two clubs. Love it. Love it. Exactly. Where we can, we take a preference. Weak hands take preferences. Two diamonds there, I saw that. Two diamonds sort of makes some sense, but you need more because two diamonds will be non-forcing, right? Saying basically, I'm trying to get out of this auction cheap. Let me play two diamonds, and I don't think you want to do that with four. Two spades is right, and it lands right there. And just keep moving here so we get through all these hands today. All right, so now it's going to change up a little bit. One heart. Okay, so forcing one no trump. You know, the question, the only question you have to ask yourself is, you know, is this more of a constructive raise or is this going to be a weak raise? Right? You've got the ace, and then you've got this queen off by itself and a spade suit that your partner hasn't bid, and so it doesn't look all that good. One in terms of evaluation, I think I pointed this out in the first class notes. When we think about evaluating our hands, promote like if you have top controls in outside suits, you promote those. So if you have aces and kings in outside, or king queen in an outside suit, or an ace in an outside suit, that makes your hand stronger. And whereas having things like queens and jacks in outside suits does nothing for your partner, right? On the other hand, if you're, for instance, if this ace of diamonds, has some value because it's in an outside suit, right? The queen of spades doesn't really have much value at all because it's in an outside suit. Put that queen of spades in with the hearts, however, and the hand gets pretty good. Now it's starting to look like it might be closer to a constructive hand bid. But I agree. One no trump, we're going to make the weak raise. Borderline. Yeah, I like that word. All right, one heart. We've got 7, 8 points. Minimum hand, a minimum single suited hand, right? Use the catch-all. And we get the diamond bid. Now, how many diamonds is our partner promising here? A little bit of review. You're forcing him to bid. Nope. 3. He's bidding a 3-card minor. He probably has 2 clubs. It could be 4, but all he promises is 3. But we don't care, right? He bid our suit. And what do you do here? You have 8 points. You have a stiff in the suit that he bid. Dance first. You have a jack in a side suit. You have a king protected twice in a side suit. Are we inviting here or are we passing? It's an adventure to play with Nick. He is nothing but aggressive. I love it. Oh, and Les is in too. So obviously, I mean, we're thinking, okay, you're thinking, okay, we got a 9-card diamond suit, right? And if we win 6 tricks there, my partner must have values elsewhere. Can you pull down another 3? Is that what you're thinking? I'll let you guys bid it. I think you're all very aggressive, but I don't think I would do that. I don't think that I would bid no trump there. There you go. I agree with that as well. I'd pass, and there's no reason not to come back in later. So we get 3 diamonds there, and what that's going to do is going to make our partner think, well, I wonder what's going on with the club suit. So we might be in trouble at that point. See, so he'd probably bid 3 spades. Leave it up to you. After 3 spades, you'd have to know, okay, he doesn't have anything in clubs, and then I think now you've started the ball rolling. You end up bidding 3 no trump. And let's see whether you are the big winner or not. Well, look at that. You're going to get 6 diamond tricks. They started with a heart, and they can't run them. They can't run them, so that means you can knock out the spade, and you can make 3 no trump. Now you can't. Because now you know that won't work either because they got a club switch they can pull. And they can pick off the king of clubs when they do the club switch. So if they switch, pull out, and beat you on the king of clubs, then you're down. So a little too aggressive. I think the safe play there was simply to say, hey, I'm a minimum hand, and he hit my suit. Life is good. Why am I being greedy? But I like how you're thinking about it. Five, seven, eight. A balanced 8-pointer, 4-4-3-2 hand. Spread out our honors over 3 suits. Clubs, the queen of clubs, the jack of clubs are inside suits. Really crappy hand. One no trump though. We got to bid with something here, right? We don't know what our partner has yet. So we owe him a bid, and it's one no trump, and we wait to see what he does. Where are you going now? Carol, Jean, and Les are all in for 2 hearts. Even Nick's going to settle for 2 hearts. So it's got to be right. Pass. Well, that's interesting. So we want to pass. We know we have a 7-card fit there, but we know we have a 7-card fit in hearts, right? Could be 8 clubs. It's true. It could be. And Eddie's right. You will find some really, really awkward hands. I think that almost all the time you will be able to find a 3-card suit to bid, but it's not impossible that you got this terrible, terrible, terrible hand, and that's the hand right there. And I'm really close to having it too. By the way, I'm 4-5-3-1. So, but you definitely want to take a preference to the 5-2 in hearts. Getting an 8-card, you just get used to playing 5-2s, and it's not the worst thing in the world. I know that when we begin bridging, we're always looking for that 4-4-5-3 fit, right, in a major hand suit, right? But when you get out in the real world, you discover that's not where life is at. It really comes down to having to know how to play a 4-3 fit and really know how to play a 5-2 fit, okay? And it's just a little bit of extra work, but there's nothing wrong with them. And when you are weak, a 5-2 fit is often the place to be. Got to get through these. At least we're in the heart. I think the hearts were the last ones, so we're in the right suit. I'm amazed we haven't come up with I must have all of these so far. It hasn't shown up yet, but one thing to recognize here is that if you have a 4-card spade suit, you have to bid it here before you bid one no trump. Right? Does anybody see any functional difference if you had 4 spades and between that and one no trump, forcing one no trump? Isn't a spade bid forcing as well? So it acts the same way as a forcing one no trump. Your partner will bid, he'll bid in exactly the same manner, and you may end up still taking a preference to his heart suit. All right? So that hasn't come up yet, and I'm wondering if maybe when I generated all these hands a couple weeks back, whether I left that off intentionally. One no trump, right? We got 6, 7 points. Partner bids 2 clubs. Where do we go with this? So either losing people now because we've done so many of them, or this one is troubling. Yeah, this is 2 diamonds. This is 2 diamonds. This is a 6-card fit. It's non-forcing. Your partner's not going to do with anything with this two diamond bid unless they got a great hand and you happen to found a fit or something. He's just going to let you play it, right? So you're going to want to you can have 5 cards here. You probably want it to be a good 5 cards, and you will take a preference before you bid a 5 cards for sure. But a 6 card suit with a king 10-9, king 10-8, that's not all that bad, right? Partner's not interesting. Maybe he would be. What if he had like the ace queen of diamonds, but he also had the other suit stops? You never know. He could go on. So Ed's calling it to play, and I agree. When you make that bid, you're saying I'll play this here, partner. But remember, there is no such thing as a shutout bid against a hand that could still hold 17, 18, 19 points. Okay, so if you were the opener and you had a huge hand, doesn't mean you have to pass. But it does. But the person who bids that diamond has to recognize that he's going to get left there most of the time, right? Because most of the time your partner doesn't have a huge hand. Willing to play, I like that. Yeah, it's a non-forcing bid. In fact, I think we could even name it even further. We could call it non-forcing constructive. Right? Probably going to have 7 or 8 points, 6, 7, or 8 points. And it's not forcing, so like a non-forcing constructive hand. 8, 9, 10, 14 points. Sorry, I shouldn't have told you that. Forget you heard that. You've got 6, 7 points. You got to get in there with forcing 1, no trump. Yeah, and we're happy there, right? Why, thank you, partner, for bidding one of our 5 card suits. Seven, 8 points. So a minimum hand, 3 spades, a stiff on our partner's suit, and 4, 5 in the 5, 4 in the minors. I'm sorry, Nick. I don't think I have a way to go back on this without having to fiddle around. I'm trying to get through all the hands before the end of the thing. 2 hearts. We got 7, 8 points. Stiff heart. Does anybody feel compelled to bid? The extra heart is promising a 6. Right. 7 card fits. Minimum hands and 7 card fit. That's the way of life. Out on the hard streets, bridge, we have to learn how to play with a 7 card fit. Usually not, and that I think Eddie pointed that out earlier pretty accurately. You don't want to rebid that with 6. I mean, if you were 4, 5, 2, 2, and your 5 hearts were ace, king, queen, jack, 10, maybe 9, maybe you can pretend that you have 6, but most of the time we want to take a chance of being able to find these other fits with minimum hands in the lower suits. So, all right, I'm going to put you back in south seat for a few more. I'm going to try to anyways. Make sure we have all bases covered here, because this is the last time we're going to cover this for a while. Next week we're going to move on to the first week we did 2/1 bids with major suits, and then for 2 weeks we have done forcing 1 no trump. Next week we're going to cover the sour and often dire, desperate straits that come from opening one diamond and hearing your partner say two clubs and having to scramble from there to a 3-no trump game and hope that you're not missing a minor slam. So we'll work on that next week. And then after that, I want to turn back again to 2/1 bidding in the majors, and we're going to talk about some extra slam techniques, some extra tools for slams that I think are almost necessary playing 2/1. All right, so we're in South now. We have 5, 6, 7, 13. So we have a semi-balanced minimum hand. Not good enough to bid 1-no trump. We get a preemptive 3-spade bid. Sitting at the table after 3 spades, you look at your cards as though you're studying them for at least 8 to 9 seconds. And then you put the pass card down, right? It took you out of the auction. You don't know what your partner has. Do not pass immediately, though. Playing live, you must wait. You must give it a long enough pause to make it seem as though it's plausible that you were studying your cards trying to decide what to do. You can't just see the 3 spades and throw the green card down. That is not the way to play bridge. Partner passes out as well. They stole that one from us. I don't know why that one's in there. Or maybe I was not letting the robots bid when I did this. I don't know. All right. So, oh, that was the end of them. We made it to the end of them. Okay. Questions about the forcing 1-no trump? The most important thing to think about with the forcing 1-no trump is that you will find yourself using it as a catch-all when there is not a bid at the 1 level, and yet you are supposed to but you have to bid. So it becomes the catch-all bid, and then from that point forward, you just need to you bid naturally, right? So start by thinking about your hand, and is it a minimum hand? Is it an invitational hand? Are you forward going, right? And when you're a minimum hand, you're going to, as you will be lots and lots and lots of the time, think about the number of times you've been sitting at the table and watched the bidding go 1 something, 1-no trump, pass, pass, pass. All those hands, that start with a major, are now going to end up at the 2 level, right? So that's a lot of minimum hands where you need to find a fit quickly, right? And so you get really good at taking preferences. You get really good at playing 4-3s. You get really good at playing 6-1s. You just sort of the nature of the game. Then you also have to deal with those hands where you have extra values, right? You're not good enough to game force, but you have extra values. And those bids, you're tending to raise your partner's suit, or you're tending to bid 2-no trump, right? Invitational and balanced. Or you're pushing it a little bit higher at the 3 level by bidding good suits at the 3 level. Okay. Now and then, as we saw several times here, what happens is we find games anyways, right? Because we're an invitational hand, we bid 1-no trump, made an invite, and our partner becomes very pleased and bids game. Right? If you have 1 card in the first suit and 2 cards in partner's second suit, you're in a bit of trouble if his first suit was spades and his second suit was hearts, right? Then you got some trouble because you've got 10 cards in the minor suits, right? And if in all that, somehow you don't have enough to get to the 3 level, what are you going to do? These things happen. Now, fortunately, what usually will happen on those is that the opponents will be in. The other thing about these minimum hands to remember about is lots of times it starts off a little troubling, but then you're out of the auction, right? If your partner is minimum and you've got 6, 7 points, that means that the opponents are sitting there with 19 to 21 points, and they're going to try to find a fit, right? And if they do, then lots of times it's their hand, right? Like anything that's natural bidding, though, the most important thing is the fit. We want fits. We love to see when the 2 suits click, and then we have a place to park the contract, right? So just think naturally. Don't overthink it. Bid naturally, and it will start to come together fairly quickly. Yeah, I think these 2 weeks, you guys, most of you are, and I assume that this is the typical class, and there's like a group of you that are answering, and a group of you who really get it and aren't saying anything, and then a couple people who are dazed and confused. Although looking at this list of people, it looks like a fine group to me. So, any other questions? You will find awkward hands. And 2 over 1, I think of as being an easy way to play. Makes things easier. It does not solve every problem, though. All right. In that case, I'm going to call it a day. I will get the movie posted. As always, if you want, I appreciate you going to the YouTube, subscribing to the channel so you get and click the notifications, because I do like to put up things in the middle of the week every now and then. I'm working on some additional notes for us. And then after we spend some time with the ugly business of I get that, but you get used to it. It's not so bad. It ends up being sort of catch-all. Sometimes it keeps the other people out. They don't. I mean, your opponents don't know whether you have 5 points or if you have 12 points either. Sometimes it keeps that 4th seat silent. But next week we'll turn to 1 diamond, 2 clubs, and it's an entirely different animal than 2 over 1 with a major. Some people don't even play it as game forcing. But we'll take a look at some of those hands and see what we need to do with them. All right. Fortunately, most of the time when your partner opens 1 diamond, you've got a 4-card heart suit or a 4-card spade suit, and that's what you bid. That makes it easy. All right. So talk to you soon. The movie will be up. And pass the word. Love how many people are getting involved, and it's going good. And we'll see you soon.